KWQC News.
It could happen anytime, and you might not think much of it, but if you experience flashers or floaters in your vision, it could be a sign of something that needs immediate attention. Dr. Clayton Kirk with Eye Surgeons Associates is here to explain the signs and the risks of a retinal tear. Thanks for coming in. Let's first explain a little bit about how the retina is attached to the eye and then how it can tear.
It's a good question, yeah, and this is kind of the point that people need to get an idea for, is that the retina is essentially an organ or a piece of tissue on the inside of the eye. It lines the inside of the wall, or lines the inside of the eye like wallpaper lines the walls of a room. So you can think about it that way. And then another important part of this is actually the vitreous gel, which is a jello body that we're all born with, and that sits in the middle of the eye. So you can think about it sitting in the middle of the room. And now what we're really talking about is the interaction between this vitreous and the wallpaper, the gel and the wallpaper that lines the inside of the room.
And so what happens when there's a retinal tear? Yeah,
so and then kind of going along with this, the vitreous, what we know about it is it starts to degenerate and crumple down in on itself over the course of the years, and 60% of the people before they're 60 have a detachment, or that vitreous pulls away from the retina. And so this is what we're talking about, and this is kind of the time when retina tears can happen. And so you know, people have some of their vitreous, some areas of their vitreous that are particularly sticky to that retina on the inside. And what can happen is once that separation happens, you can pull a tear on the retina from that.
And so what are some of the signs that this might be happening?
It's a good question. So tension, and we think about tension and the sensation of tension as a feeling, like if I pulled my skin, I would feel that. When tension happens on the inside of the eye, on the retina, your brain perceives that as flashes of light. So the vitreous separating, that can look like floaters or C-shaped, or a lot of black spots in the vision, things like that. And then tension on the retina, or potential retinal tear, is flashes of light in the peripheral vision.
So does it have to be treated, or is it something that can go away on its own?
Yeah, so this certainly does need to be treated. Once a retinal tear forms, we certainly need to get that taken care of. This won't just go away on its own. Sometimes it does for some people. It scars in around on itself, but for the most part, we have to take care of that in the office.
And why is it important to get immediate attention? Yeah,
so this is all the progression of what leads to a retinal detachment, right? So the vitreous separates, it pulls away from the walls of the eye, can pull a tear on the wallpaper. And then if you imagine if I tore the wallpaper in a room and dumped a bucket of water in behind that, the wallpaper would start to fall down and come off. And so this is essentially what we're talking about. Once the tear forms, we have you know, a limited amount of time to get in there and to surround that area with laser. And the way that works is just an office procedure where we put scars or laser burns around that retinal tear. And what that does, it doesn't fix the retinal tear, it doesn't make the floaters go away, but it holds that area and prevents it from spreading into a retinal detachment.
And a retinal detachment is bad because that will really impact your vision.
Absolutely. So that's what people start to notice, and the progression of this is, well, I saw my floater, a couple days later I saw flashes of light, and then I started to see a curtain or a veil marching its way across my vision. And that is the sign of a retinal detachment. And unfortunately, once it gets to that point, that's kind of a surgical fix, and that kind of needs to be brought to the OR.
All right, so let's remind people of when they know that there are some serious signs that they need to see a doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. So the most concerning thing are the flashes of light in your vision. Some people have floaters, and floaters certainly do need to be evaluated, but if you have floaters and then they're associated with flashes of light, that's when you say, oh, this isn't right, I should call my eye doctor, and you should be seen really as soon as you can, as soon as your eye doctor feels is appropriate. And that is obviously to avoid this progressing into a thing that can lead to permanent vision loss and need for surgery.
All right. Well, we appreciate the information, and we wish you the best of luck in fixing those issues. Dr. Clayton Kirk with Eye Surgeons Associates, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.